Good afternoon, folks, and welcome back to Chris White Reports. Breaking story out of Moscow, where Russian President Vladimir Putin has signed a decree today granting Russian citizenship to U.S. traitor Edward Snowden, one of 72 people granted Russian citizenship today. If you look up the Wikipedia site venerating this treasonous bastard, Edward Joseph Snowden, born the 21st of June, 1983, is an American-born and naturalized Russian former computer intelligence consultant who leaked highly classified information from the National Security Agency back in 2013 when he was an employee of Booz Allen and a subcontractor. His illegal disclosures revealed numerous global surveillance programs, many run by the NSA and the Five Eyes intelligence community, with the cooperation of telecommunications companies in Europe and the United States. And this prompted a discussion about national security and individual privacy. Now, the reality is that Edward Snowden is an egotistical thief. And that's all he is, a thief. He's not a patriot. He's not a whistleblower, which is what the Guardian, who destroyed the lives of many people with these disclosures, these criminal disclosures, the Guardian, the leftist outlet in the United Kingdom, which was the first to reveal this. And of course, Glenn Greenwald, the heralded reporter who hides in Brazil now, Glenn Greenwald, who many people are fond of because of his opposing what's been happening under lockdown. But this is the same gentleman who put lives in jeopardy. Snowden, who's now 39, is a former U.S. intelligence contractor who's been hiding in Russia since 2013 to escape prosecution for his crimes committed here. Now, Wikipedia says that Snowden has been variously called a traitor, correct, a hero, incorrect, a whistleblower, that's a fraudulent designation. He's not a whistleblower. He's a thief, a dissident, he is a dissident, and a coward, which he is. He's also not a patriot. U.S. officials condemned his actions as having done grave damage to U.S. intelligence capabilities. And he's defended his leaks as an effort to inform the public as to that which is done in their name and that which is done against them. Of course, Edward Snowden, despite his false claims to the contrary, never ever once went to Inspector General or informed anyone about what he claimed was issues in the intelligence collection. Rather than working with inside the intelligence community, which many people in the intelligence community do when they see abuses, Edward Snowden decided that he was the arbiter, as some minor nobody in a contractor's position. He was the person who was the arbiter of what was right and wrong. His disclosures, his criminal disclosure of sensitive compartment information destroyed the intelligence collection capability and led to the deaths of people through terrorist actions, which we could not prevent as a consequence of his stupidity, as well as the immediate death of dozens of double agents who were executed in Russia and other places because of his revelations. Edward Snowden is not a whistleblower. He's a criminal. And at the end of the day, he's simply a thief. He stole information that did not belong to him in order to prove his bona fides to Glenn Greenwald and Laura Puentes. Yeah, he is a criminal. Now, as part of the global surveillance disclosure, the first of Snowden's documents, they're not Snowden's documents, they were U.S. government information, were published on June 5th of 2013 in The Guardian in an article by Glenn Greenwald. Greenwald said that Snowden's documents exposed the scale of domestic surveillance under Obama. Yeah, well, it also led to the deaths of many people, and the fact that Glenn Greenwald and Edward Snowden walk around with no conscience whatsoever over the death of people who were protecting others is a disgrace. Now, they'll excuse that by saying, well, they were spies. They got what they deserved. Well, Edward Snowden is a spy, and he's a thieving liar. His disclosures did crippling damage to the United States intelligence community, and that impact will last for decades. Yet he is venerated by the political left, in particular Democrats in Congress. Now, what will they say today about his granting of citizenship? He claims to be a dual national. United States State Department should strip Edward Snowden of his citizenship. Of course, they're not going to do that because they retained charges against him for espionage against the United States, which he's committed. Grievous harm he did and caused the deaths of many people. Now, Glenn Greenwald, there was an effort to go after him during the Obama administration. He said, I'm not the least bit surprised, he told Yahoo News, that the CIA, a longtime authoritarian anti-democratic institution, plotted to find a way to criminalize journalism and spy and commit other acts of aggression against journalists. Oh, please, Glenn Greenwald. There's no effort here to criminalize journalism. You disclosed classified information knowing so without contacting the U.S. government. You received this information in Hong Kong. You met your accomplice in Hong Kong to disclose information because you thought that was journalism. You trafficked in stolen information. You trafficked in a crime. Now, Glenn Greenwald is a very good journalist, and he's exposed many things, but that doesn't excuse his crimes here. Edward Snowden is a treasonous, lying thief, and now a citizen of Russia. Now, some of my viewers may take exception to this, but that's because they have never worked in intelligence and don't understand the importance of a state's ability to have secrets. Now, that does not excuse state overreach and state abuse, which we see currently with the abuse of investigative authorities, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Department of Justice being weaponized, the Internal Revenue Service being weaponized against Americans, as well as the National Security Agency and other agencies. All of that deserves legitimate whistleblowing inside the government. But Snowden made no effort to do such a thing. He fraudulently claimed after the fact that he did such a thing, but he never made any effort to actually report what he believed to be malfeasance. He simply determined on his own that this was malfeasance and then went ahead and disclosed it, causing the deaths of dozens, nay, perhaps thousands of people in the loss of intelligence, but certainly dozens of people in the immediate aftermath. That is when the Russians became aware of people in their midst and other intelligence agencies who were double agents, and they were eliminated without trial. Edward Snowden deserves a trial. This treasonous Russian national should be extradited to the United States at first opportunity to stand trial for his crimes. Glenn Greenwald is a legitimate journalist, but he should stop making excuses for his role in the death of many people. It's as simple as that, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time here on Chris White Reports.